Hey, welcome, Donita here. So I was going to do my favorite method, which is a hybrid method using Saint's Demi, and 3D. And the first thing I like to do is always go in with our balm. And I like to put the balm under my eyes just to help add a little bit of moisture, and it acts as more of a protectant. It kind of locks in what moisture is already there. So if you don't know what Saint's Demi line is, it is based on color science, and it uses the color wheel to basically filter away any distractions that you have. And you first determine what color your distraction is, and then based on the color wheel you go to that opposite color to filter it out. And you have to look at this like a stain, and so you're applying it like a stain. So it's not like your typical color correction. The only thing, where to go, I have on my face right now is just a tinted, this is a BB cream with SPF, so it's just basically a tinted moisturizer. I do like to use that to even out my skin tone, and I use that even if I'm doing just 3D because I use less makeup when I do it that way. So, and I will use a little bit of 3D. I'm going to use a little bit of my main shade, and then maybe this is a gloss lip and cheek, and maybe some setting powder. So the first thing I want to do is just do a little bit of toning, and the first thing that bothers me, one of the things that bothers me, is my redness. So I get redness on my cheeks mainly, a little bit on my chin, and I have found that this shade right here, it's called NR-1. It is some kind of voodoo magic. I don't know how this NR, which is neutral red, -1, which looks like this innocent little beige shade. I don't know how it tones down the redness, but it does. I also really like to use it under my eyes to even out those different tones under my eyes. But that just toned down and really made that redness in my cheeks look kind of pretty. So it's just more even somehow. So I love this product. We could also use a little bit on the nose. Let me use this small end. And I'm using today 3 brushes. This is the shape brush. It's a Demi brush. You could do your whole face with it if you chose to. And then a bright brush, which is this is probably my favorite brush for the under eyes. And then the spot brush, and that's just for that pinpoint correction. So these are probably my 3 favorite Demi brushes. And then I like to go in and tone with this shade right here. It's called NR. It's just neutral red. It's just kind of, to me, the perfect brown. It's also what I have on my eyes. I use the NR, and then this is NV +1, Neutral Violet +1. It looks like a deep brown, though. It doesn't look violet at all, because NV is neutral violet. Can't remember if I said that. So I'm going to go in to use this NR, neutral red, and I use it more like a bronzer, and it gives this real pretty bronzer effect. And then because I have receding hairline, I like to put this, especially right there in that kind of this area. I'm not sure what that area is called, because it doesn't really get in my hair, because again, I'm just kind of staining the skin around here. And it just helps kind of frame the face. And I've done my whole face with Demi before too. I kind of like a mix of both, but the more I learn about Demi, the less 3D I use, just because it just is just a better version of my skin. And then I just kind of go back and forth from this big end to the small end of this shape brush. But see how pretty that is? It's just such a pretty bronzer effect. I get some veins that show on my temple area. I don't normally like anything dark on the temple area because that area is already kind of hollowing out because I'm aging. My stomach, I'm so sorry. It's kind of growling. Not growling, it's just, I don't know what it's doing. Okay, and then I like a little bit of bronzer on kind of the bridge of my nose. But I think it just adds a real pretty warmth. Do a little bit on my neck just to make everything equal. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Now, the next step I'm going to do, not sure if I want to go ahead and add a little bit. Let's go ahead and add just a little bit of my main shade. And I'm going to continue to use the shape brush. This is Amber, and I just like to put it mainly in this beard area. Just if you like a little bit more polished look, using 3D and Demi you would love. If you like light to medium coverage, which that's probably what I like. And then I'm just putting a little bit where I have, you know, pores. My pores and where my skin tone is blotchy. And then I try not to put product directly in hive movement areas like those marionette lines. So what I'll do is put it in areas around there and then just feather it in. And then I have dents on my nose from reading glasses. But that's pretty much the only area I want. And then I like to use my Stands Out sponge. And I just like to go around where I put the 3D just to pick up any excess. And I think by doing this too, it picks up and it pushes it into your skin. Okay, right now I want to go in with this shade right here. It's called the Envy +1, and just because I've been using a lot of different colors, this is a shade cleaning tile, and I'm not sure that's what it's called, but you basically, it cleans off your brush in between colors. So I'm going to go into that NV+1, and this mimics better than anything I found the natural shadow. So I have gels. I don't know who developed that term. I don't know why I'm curious about that. But look at what that did for that jaw. And then I like to go a little bit in front of the ear. But it just mimics that natural shadow. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. And I stay out of the dip. That's, you know, where it's right next to that gel. Okay. And I have a turkey neck. So I like to put there. And I kind of go down the sides of the neck right there. I think it helps slim it. Okay, now let's go ahead and add some color. I like 2 colors right now for blush. I'm not sure which one I want. I'm going to get them both out and show you. This color right here is called R5. It is so dang pretty, and I know you're looking at it like, what? But it is such a pretty blushed look. And then this one, it looks scary too. It's called RV7, Red Violet 7. This is Red 5, R5. And this one is so pretty this time of year because it gives you that blush like you've been outside in the cold and you come back in and you have rosy cheeks. It is so pretty. But I've been wearing this a lot lately, so I'm going to wear this shade right here, this pink. I got a hair. So I'm going to use this shape brush again. And I know they say to put your blush further back, but I think it's more youthful to put it more on the apple. So I like to start here and then go back. And I like to do a bit of like a ombre with the 3D blushes for sure. So I'll do a darker back here and then it ombres into a light. But so I don't really want a whole lot of color back here necessarily because that's not what people see. But I have started to really like having it go up into my temples. I think that's a pretty look. But isn't that pretty? And you can see the sheen, and my skin looks like skin, and it's just because the wax in these, it just gives you that beautiful sheen. Now at the end, if I think I might look too shiny, I might add a little bit of powder, but we'll just see where we end up. But I want to put some here and go back. I have kind of chubby cheeks, so I think that's why I like this so much, like this. Oh my gosh, my stomach. There. I do like to put a little bit of blush on my nose. I always put too much. A little bit on the chin. And then a little bit up here. Because, you know, if we got sunburned, we get it kind of here. So, anyway. Now and do a little bit of correcting. on the dark circles and things. And now I want to switch to the bright brush. And we first want to determine what color those dark circles are. So these are multiple colors. So if you have a distraction that is larger than the size of a sesame seed, then it has more than one color. So that means you could possibly need more than one color to correct that area. So this area has purple. It looks like a deep purple. So a deep purple is right in here. And so the opposite is orange from purple. So because it's deep, I know I need to go a little bit deeper toned orange. So that's why I'm going to use 03. But before I use that, I want to go ahead and tone that under eye just like I did my rosacea. And I'm going to do that with this NR-1. And I'm going to use the fluffy side of the bright brush. And I don't know if you can tell on camera, but the dark circle, and I mean, I'm just doing a very light wash, is just, it's there. I mean, and I know it's there, and you can still see it, but it's just diminished by using this shade. So, and I guess you would call this a great, like, toning color. It's just amazing how well it works. Okay, so now we're going to go in with that 03. I might have too much, but we'll see. So I just want to put that directly on that purple. Look at that. And I think that looks really, really good. Now, inside that dark circle is like some sun damage, so like an age spot or a sunspot. I could get really precise and correct where that sunspot is, but it's not that big of a deal. So I think that looks really good. So I'm happy with that. I do like to take a little bit of that orange, and the shadow right here, that is from my eyeball sinking into my skull, and that happens as we age. I've got some kind of reaction going on in this eye. Maybe some lash glue or something, I'm not sure, but it's irritated. Anyway, I'm sorry. I get very distracted easily sometimes. Oh gosh. So I'm just putting this 03, orange 3, just where I see that shadowy area the most. And that just looks so much better. Now the other area I notice is I have an area right here, and the NR-1 corrected most of it, but it's like redness, darkness. I think it's a form of purple. So I like to use that orange 3 again right there. And see it, it's just gone. And then I like to use this shade right here. It's called 01, Orange 1. And I like to use that on this inner corner here. and it just brightens, and then it also corrects some darkness right there. And that just helps open that eye up. Okay, so now let's do this other under eye. Doing the same thing, we're going to use that orange 3. And I'm using such a small amount of product. And again, I'm just kind of using it like a stain. I'm just lightly tapping and smoothing it all out. And then I'm going to the darkness right here on the outer corner. And then putting a little bit of that orange 3 on that shadow. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, and then we'll add a little bit of that orange one right here on that darkness, just to brighten that inner corner. And I was just adding a ton of bright, like I was using a 1, I would use like a real light eyeshadow, any thing to brighten the majority of that inner corner, when by adding just that little strip of dark, it corrected that whole area. And it looks more natural. So anyway, I still just get amazed. Okay, and then now I do want to set those under eyes with just a little bit of setting spray. And what I do is I just get a little bit of my setting spray in my hand, the corner of this Stands Out sponge, and I just tap it under those eyes, and they'll be set all day. And then I'll use this on my face. This is Charlotte Tilbury. I really love it. It's truly like hairspray for your face. Sorry about my eye being so red. It's irritated for some reason. And then I might just powder my forehead just a little bit. And I like to use, it's called the wash brush. We'll just add a little bit, but I will add a little bit. But I want that to be nice and glowy. Okay, so that is my favorite method for doing the Demi, with adding just a little bit of 3D. I didn't do anything to the lips, but I'm going to add, this is La Cienega, and it is a pink gloss with a hint of like gold. It's real pretty with lip liner, but I won't worry with lining my lips. But it's just so dang pretty, and close up, it's just my skin, and that's the best part. So, and it will last all day. It's gorgeous. So if you would like to try out this 3D or the Demi, all I would need from you is a makeup pre-selfie. And I have a link that I will list below, or you can email just a makeup pre-selfie facing a sunlit window to colormatchbydonita@yahoo.com. And I'll put that on the screen as well. But it's a game changer, and if you have mature skin, then I know you would love it. So anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch, and I really hope you have a good day. Bye.